16 secrets behind 7 little Johnstons you had no idea about. I will explain everything. Never miss this video. Please subscribe to the channel. The 7 Little Johnstons reality series on TLC chronicles one of America's most fascinating families. Both Trent Johnston and Amber, his spouse, suffer from achondroplasia dwarfism. The couple actually met at a gathering for small people. They were married after 3.5 years. The disease also affects their 2 biological children, Elizabeth and Yona. Given their awareness of the difficulties posed by dwarfism, they decided to adopt 3 additional children, all of whom have it. Anna is from Russia, Emma is from China, and Alex is from South Korea. Through the clan's everyday activities, the show gives viewers an insight into the lives of people with dwarfism. 7 Little Johnstons doesn't hold back when illustrating the difficulties of being small in a society that is meant for individuals of average size. The Johnstons appear to be kind, well-mannered individuals. However, there are certain behind-the-scenes details that can surprise or even shock you, just like with any reality TV program. Some relate to the main characters in the show, while others are about the program itself. Here, we outline them all for you. You may be surprised to learn these 16 sinister secrets about 7 Little Johnstons. Achondroplasia is the most common form of dwarfism. The signs of it are very recognizable. Those afflicted have a normal-sized torso, but large heads and foreheads, as well as shortened limbs. Abnormal curvature of the spine is also commonly associated with it. The origins of achondroplasia are genetic, caused by a mutation in the FGFR3 gene. Some research suggests it is the father who is most likely to pass it down. Having this form of dwarfism brings with it the potential for some critical health issues. For starters, dwarfs in general tend to have shorter lifespans by an average of 10 years. Additional potential complications are spinal stenosis, obesity, apnea, and ear infections. People who have achondroplasia need to be continually monitored or treated for these and other problems. Understanding this helps you better understand the difficulties the Johnstons face on a daily basis. Anyone who has adopted a child will tell you that while the procedure is great, it is also very costly. There are frequently additional expenses for classes, home studies, legal fees, and placement. You can also include travel expenses if you adopt abroad, as the Johnstons did. It is not unusual for one adoption to cost at least $20,000. Trent and Amber decided not to use part of the available adoptive parent assistance despite the financial output needed. They stated in an interview with the ABC network that they have declined to obtain loans for the procedure. The couple's adoption adventures were financed by grants, citing a wish to live within their means. Despite their adopted children's eligibility for disability benefits, they also refused to take government support. When 7 Little Johnstons made its debut in 2015, there was some expectation due to on-air advertisements, but a scandal involving another program gave it its largest boost. One of TLC's highest-rated programs was 19 Kids and Counting, which starred the Duggar family. Josh Duggar was accused of molesting 5 minors, 4 of whom were his own sisters, while he was a teenager. This was the beginning of trouble. To exacerbate the situation, there was proof that his father was aware of it and failed to take appropriate action to address the issue or secure assistance for the victims. Josh, who's married, was also found to have an account on Ashley Madison, a website that helps people have extramarital affairs. TLC canceled 19 Kids and replaced it with reruns of 7 Little Johnstons due to this entire vile story. That greatly increased the show's visibility. The Johnstons' decision to adopt was largely influenced by Amber's incredibly challenging pregnancy with their biological daughter, Elizabeth. Under the best of conditions, pregnancy may have a negative impact on a woman's body, but Amber, who was already just 48 inches tall, ended up measuring 51 inches around during her pregnancy. Her hips painfully dislocated repeatedly as a result of that, which was just one of the many painful effects. Amber and Trent were aware that a second pregnancy would not be good for Elizabeth's health when she was born. As a result, they decided to take measures to guarantee that this wouldn't happen. Amber had tubal ligation during her C-section, which prevented her from becoming pregnant again. From there, the couple decided that adoption would be the next step in growing their family. Any reality show's primary attraction is the opportunity to grow to love the participants. In late 2017, admirers of Seven Little Johnstons were alarmed by this emotional bond. The show's episode saw Trent admitting some doubts about adopting another kid with achondroplasia from China, but Amber expressed a great desire to do so. The matter seemed to cause some friction between them. In an excerpt from the upcoming episode's sneak peek, a heartbroken Trent sat the children down for an important conversation. As a result of his decision to adopt again, fans began to fear that he and Amber were divorcing. To address the issue, the Johnstons posted on Instagram that they have way too much love to give up on each other. The problem was just a plan to sell their house, according to a hashtag on their photo. People fear what they don't comprehend, according to an old proverb. With dwarfism, that is undoubtedly the case. Unfortunately, individuals who are too narrow-minded to comprehend the condition or too ignorant to attempt sometimes subject dwarfs to a good deal of suffering and ridicule. Such cruel abuse has been inflicted on the Johnstons on numerous occasions. One particularly regrettable instance occurred when Trent and Amber brought the children to the Wild Adventures theme park in Georgia. As seen on the show, children made fun of the family by calling them midgets, a pejorative term, while many may take offense or attempt to defend themselves. Trent has a habit of setting an example for his own kids. He tries to create an educational moment when someone disrespects him or any member of the family, so that they might be more careful with their comments in the future. The adoption process consists of numerous steps. Because you're dealing with government rules and red tape, adopting abroad adds even more components. The Johnstons knew they had to adopt Alex after learning that he was born in South Korea with dwarfism. In theory, they ought to have been able to proceed with the international adoption procedure as usual. But things are a bit different in South Korea. Instead of paying the greatest fee, the placement fee near the end, the nation mandates that the full adoption fee be paid from the start. Because the Johnstons lacked the means and had little time to raise the essential funds, Alex was not receiving the medical attention he needed. A miracle happened when a church member sent them a check for $15,000 to cover everything. Prior to cancellation rumors, Seven Little Johnstons operated profitably for 3 seasons. There were 7 episodes in the first season and 11 in the second. Theoretically, considering the increase in quantity, the third season should consist of at least 11 episodes, if not more. Actually, it had only 8. Because of this, viewers began to fear that TLC would not renew the show. Everyone's hope was fulfilled, and in September 2017, the show returned. Nevertheless, the 4th season has the fewest episodes to date, with only 6. As a result, there is now more reason to believe that the series is about to finish. As of right now, there is no sign that a new season is planned, so viewers are left wondering if they will be able to follow the adventures of the family they have grown to love. Of the 2 biological children of the Johnstons, Jonah is the eldest. Despite being a content teenager, he had serious health issues at birth. Amber had genetic tests done throughout her pregnancy to check for dwarfism in the unborn child. 3 things could happen. He might have his parents' achondroplasia dwarfism be of normal height or be homozygous, meaning he carries both of the dwarfism genes, which would be lethal. Fortunately, that last possibility was disregarded. After that crisis was avoided, another one arose. Jonah was born too soon. He did not cry, he was not breathing, and he did not exhibit the spastic motions typical of infants. He spent the first 6 weeks of his life in the intensive care unit, but doctors were able to bring him back to life. During his first year, he underwent many procedures to address medical concerns related to both his dwarfism and prematurity. Having grown up with achondroplasia dwarfism themselves, both Amber and Trent understand how hard it can be for their own children to socialize. Although many kids are naturally accepting, there are those out there intent to pick on anyone who is different in some way. Amber related a particularly hurtful incident from her own childhood to People magazine. When she was 14, she and her sister entered a gas station to buy sodas. They were immediately surrounded by a group of teen girls who pointed at her and said, "You're one of them." The word "them" was emphasized to make her feel like a freak. Amber had to climb up a shelf to get the soda, which made the girls ridicule her even more. Although she learned long ago not to let situations like this get to her, Amber still remembers the pain it caused. Trent and Amber are particularly adamant about educating their kids that life isn't always simple, especially for dwarfs. Coddling children or making things too simple, in their opinion, sends the wrong message. They therefore have a rather stringent policy against depending too much on alterations, even within their own house. They want the kids to have reasonable expectations about living with dwarfism, particularly that the world is not built for you. Trent told Clayton State University's publication, The Laker Connection, instead than expecting everything to adjust to them, the Johnstons encouraged the children to come up with innovative methods to adapt to their surroundings rather than requiring that things be made more convenient. "We truly want the children to solve their own problems," he stated. "They're getting used to it. Everybody has seen reality shows where the contestants are obviously trying to get their share of attention. Amber Johnston and Trent are not at all alike. They don't care for fame at all unless it's in relation to a higher, more admirable objective." The pair explained to Fox News that they are participating in a reality TV show because they want to be accepted by society. They think that 7 Little Johnstons can help dispel negative stereotypes about dwarfism and educate the public about the condition. Their personal mission is to make this happen. "We want to be seen by society as individuals with distinctions and as human beings. Avoid treating us like a piece of furniture," Amber told the network. She continued, "The biggest stigma in society is that little people are still considered like circus characters. It is obvious that celebrity is merely a means to an end for them. Unlike many other reality series, 7 Little Johnstons does not aim to exploit viewers. It is the mission of Trent and Amber to promote a positive image of dwarfism in order to dispel harmful preconceptions. Naturally, the children are involved because the grown-ups consented to having their life filmed. The Johnstons view the show's production as a family job in order to uphold their goal of educating the public. Everyone must complete their shift. Children are reminded that vacation and sick days should be used wisely when they want to do something else, like hang out with friends. That's not to suggest the children can't have fun. They only need to ensure that the work is completed first. The Johnstons are assisting kids in cultivating a strong work ethic in this way. To what extent did the Johnstons dedicate themselves to adopting children who have dwarfism? Devoted enough to undertake a difficult journey halfway around the world to do it. They chose to adopt Emma, a Chinese child born with dwarfism, in 2010. They had to take a plane all the way to Beijing first. After arriving, the adoptive parents took a train to the province where she was, which took 2 hours. After spending 5 days in the province, they met little Emma the next morning. It was a crucial stage in creating significant family ties. They all then got on another plane, this time to Guangzhou. The adoption was finalized and the necessary documentation was done in that city. At long last, they took a long flight once more, this time returning to their home in the United States. Though demanding, the journey was unquestionably worthwhile. Although the Johnstons are too modest to acknowledge it, their actions are heroic. It is uncommon to be open to adopting a child who has dwarfism. Adopted children with the condition, or any impairment, for that matter, are common in many nations. Emma is from China. Just take a look. Numerous baby hackers, special safe rooms furnished with cribs, warmth, and other amenities had to be opened nationwide, according to a CNN story. This was required because it was becoming too common for individuals to leave disabled children in dangerous locations, such as public restrooms and city streets. Children born with impairments such as dwarfism are often considered undesirable there as in other countries. Few individuals are ready to adopt them, so even if they are fortunate enough to be saved by authorities, many of them end up in orphanages. To understand the bizarre legal battle over 7 little Johnstons, you need to understand two things. Discovery Communications is the company that owns TLC, and LM&O Cable Group is the company that produces the show. In mid-2016, LM&O discovered that a dishonest accountant had embezzled money from them. When they confronted him, he threatened them to report their incorrect books, which he himself had falsified, to Discovery unless they paid him even more money. They refused, and he made good on his promise. According to a lawsuit LM&O subsequently filed, Discovery used these knowingly incorrect books as an excuse to dissolve their collaboration and to seize control of footage intended for Season 2 of 7 Little Johnstons. Discovery countersued, accusing LM&O of fraudulent accounting. A judge eventually ruled that Discovery owned the Johnstons' footage, and LM&O was forced to turn it over. What's your favorite episode of 7 Little Johnstons? Do you think it will return for another season? Sound off with your thoughts in the comments. No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this.